Joe Redmond, how does it feel to be back?
Yeah, it's great to be back, obviously, with the win and up in the showgrounds. It's a great feeling to be back out there and get the first 90 since I've been back. Yeah.
Take us back to April and the injury you sustained in 𝗓𝗏.
Obviously, we didn't know how long it was going to be until I got the scan and stuff, and then getting the news that I needed the operation was tough. But it's kind of something you have to get over quite quick in football. It's part and parcel, and I mean, everyone supported me with it, and they were great. So now I was delighted then to see the back of it, and now hopefully stay injury free until the end of the season and for so on.
Yeah, you'd played every minute of every game since you joined 𝗓𝗏𝗏𝗏. I think it was 13 at the back end of your career at 𝗓𝗏, every game last season and up till the injury this season. So it must have been a bit of a shock when you picked up a serious injury because you've been injury free for so long.
Yeah, it was. It was difficult then to just go straight into the stands and watch the lads where you have no control over anything. I mean, even in training or that, and it's tough to be watching, but no, as soon as you're back out there, you feel the rewards of the hard work you put in when you're in the treatment room and in the gym.
Yeah, 16 games out in total before you came on in the cup win in Longford. Were you a good watcher when you were away? Because you were at every game.
Not too good, to be honest. It's obviously tough when you're watching the lads, because you wanna kick every ball, and I mean it's tougher watching than it is playing, I presume. But no, look, the lads were excellent since I was gone, and I mean they put together great performances and great wins, and now I was beaming and I was delighted watching them from up there.
Yeah, I think your first game post-op, actually, you were in the hospital bed watching on LOI TV, which must have been very strange.
Yeah, no, I was in the hospital bed watching on LOI TV, and it was even tougher then than not being in the stand, because you can't say anything, you're not talking to anyone about the game, you're just purely watching. When you're around it, you can be in control and wish the lads luck, and then you're talking to them after the game, saying how it went and voicing a bit of an opinion. But like when you're so far away in London in a hospital bed, it's difficult. Yeah.
Tell us about the recovery and the rehab process, and you worked very closely with Sam Rice, 𝗍𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗀, Christy O'Neill and Paul McGrath, of course with all the other staff, but you worked very closely with the medical and performance team for the initial phase at least.
Yeah, no, at the start it was quite straightforward, just trying to get walking and stuff after the operation, which is difficult enough, working in the pool and some long days in there, don't get me wrong. Most footballers would know it, like you're kind of by yourself and stuff while the lads are out training, but the lads are great with me, trying to keep me in the loop as much as possible, obviously going into the meetings with the lads and being around them and watching sessions and just being in the environment. It's so important, obviously, for the lads to keep you in the loop, and they done that with me, which was excellent, and I was delighted with that. And then it makes it easier coming back in, so you're not too far away.
Yeah, I believe you were back 3 weeks ahead of schedule as well, and just missed Europe, but back in time for the cup game against Longford. How were you feeling when, I suppose you probably knew before the game you were going to get minutes, touch wood, and when the manager John gave you the shout to warm up and that you were going to come back?
Yeah, it was a great feeling, obviously, when you're warming up and you get told that you're going to come on. I mean, you just got to embrace it, and not having that feeling or that buzz for a long time, you do miss it. It's a horrible feeling, and there's no buzz like it when you eventually get back out there and you start to play a game. I mean, I don't think there's anything, for me anyways, that replicates playing in the game. So no, I was buzzing after it. And
you scored, you celebrated, and then you realised that the linesman's flag had gone up for either a foul or an offside. You were already over in front of the SEI.
I know, yeah, I got a bit carried away, but look, it was what it was, and we're happy to get through to the next round, which was the most important thing at the end of the day. Yeah,
that was actually your first game under John, in terms of, it probably shows how long you were out, and the team has been in such good form since he's come in as interim manager and then as permanent manager as well. You've watched a lot of the games from the stands, as we said. You then came back for the cup win, you started and played the full 90 in the win over Sligo as well. So since you've been out and since you've been back, it's been a really good run.
Yeah, no, it has. It's been a great run, as I was saying. Watching the lads and the football that they've been playing has been excellent. And I mean, we've got a great group, and I mean, when we're putting together runs like that and performances like that, it shows how good we can be. And I'm glad that while I was away, as tough as it was watching, it was nice to be watching us in winning form.
Yeah, obviously you've been missed, and speaking to John over the last few weeks on the interviews, he was talking about you being almost like a new signing, and like we'd be signing one of the best centre backs, if not the best centre back in the league. But at the same time you were away, the results, particularly in the league and the cup, have been very, very good. So you've come back at a good time into a team that's already in confident form and already performing quite well.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it makes it that bit easier coming back into a team that's in such good form and a great mood around the place. It obviously could have come back into a lot more difficult situations, which is a credit to the gaffer and a credit to the lads of how well they've been and how hard they have worked, because seeing the work that they've put in since the gaffer has took over has been incredible. So now they deserve all the credit with their performances and the wins, and just coming back into the group. I mean, I want to just work as hard as the lads have been and just keep going on good runs.
You made some great tackles and blocks in Sligo in your first start back as well, and the game was on TV, so we had a lovely angle of that tackle in the second half. How are you feeling going back to your first start, and how was the body after? Because it was a tough game on a heavy pitch with the rain and stuff, and you'd been away for so long. I know you'd played minutes against Cliftonville, the friendly the previous week, but a first competitive start in a number of months.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you start to feel your way into it. Obviously, I had the few minutes in Longford, but it was a bit of a mad game when I came on. But the first few minutes, you're kind of finding your feet, and then it just comes second nature to you to just go back in and just do your job. I mean, that's all you're thinking about when you're going in. You're not thinking about the injury, the pace of the game and stuff kind of takes over, and you go into what you're used to. So now I wasn't thinking about any injuries or that, and I was just thinking about getting the 3 points, and thankfully we done so.
Yeah, really nice moments for you in front of the away fans in Longford and then in Sligo. Some great videos and some great pictures as well, and you've got a great relationship with them. I know some of your mates and your family would have been at the games as well, but that was a nice moment for you after all the toughness and the hard period to win 2 games and get that moment with the fans afterwards.
Yeah, no, my family have been at nearly every game since I've been injured as well, which is great, like, to see them and talk about the games with them. And I mean, the fans have been brilliant, and the travel and support up to Sligo and everywhere all season has been incredible. So now hopefully it continues, and we can't thank them enough. And towards the end of the season, it's going to be a great push for us, and we thank them for that. Yeah,
great to hear the Joe Redmond is the best on earth song at the end of the recent games and during them as well. And your first home game back, Joe, couldn't probably be much bigger. A derby against Bohs, second against Thirds, sold out Richmond Park live on the telly. You must be really looking forward to it.
Yeah, I am. I'm really looking forward to it. I mean, we've treated it like the way we do and prepared well for it. So now really excited for that, and I can't wait to be back in Richmond.
What are these derbies like to be involved in, particularly like the game on Friday had sold out? It sold out on Monday evening, be about 4,100. Pats fans, about 1,000. Bohs fans, the place be absolutely rammed, and you're there playing in the middle of it.
Yeah, it is great. I mean, I was on the sidelines watching them, and it's a crazy atmosphere when you're up in the stands. But when you're down on that pitch, you have to be quite level-headed, and you can't get mixed up too much in the occasion. You've got to play the way you play, and obviously there's that little bit more fire, but you've got to be controlled, and you've got to play the way we play. We
faced Bohs twice this season. A win away at Dalymount and a defeat at home at Richmond. They're in a really good run of form themselves as well in terms of their position in the league and the run they're on. Johnny Afolabi's flying up front as well. What's your thoughts on facing them?
Yeah, no, it's going to be a difficult game. We know how well that they've been doing, but we've been on a good run as well. And I mean, we're just focusing on ourselves. Obviously, we've seen that they're on a good run too. So now our most important thing is focusing on ourselves and making sure we perform.
Do you enjoy the challenge of playing against other good strikers in the league? Like Afolabi, for one, for example, is really trying to catch Chris at the top of the scoring charts at the moment. He's in good form, and you're obviously one of the top defenders, so those one-to-one battles can be fascinating and I'm sure a real challenge.
Yeah, definitely. There's a lot of good strikers in the league. I mean, any defender would like to pride themselves on having good battles against strikers in the league, and that's what we look to do as defenders, and we look to pride ourselves on trying to keep clean sheets. That's our objective first and foremost, and that's what we will be trying to do on Friday night. You and Johnny would have been teammates at Joey's back in the day, would you? Yeah, me and Johnny would have grew up playing together at Joey, so yeah, it's one I'm looking forward to. Yeah, that's an added interest as well, because you would have known each other as kids. Of course, you played against each other as well, but you know that Joey's team you were on had lots of good players, including you and Johnny. So it's weird how football comes full circle, and a few years after you leave playing with him as a kid, you're now playing against him in a big League of Ireland game. Yeah, definitely. It must have been about 8 years ago now that we played with each other. But no, will it be a good battle? But I mean, as a whole, we'll look to keep clean sheets, and that's what we do.
And just lastly, obviously the supporters are really happy with how the team is playing at the moment as well. The league table looks interesting. Shamrock Rovers playing Shells this weekend as well. A big cup match to come next week, and 10 league games. So exciting few weeks ahead, and touch wood, you guys can just keep the good performances going and see where it takes you.
Yeah, of course. Obviously we know that there's a few exciting games coming up, but it's just the next one that we're focusing on. You have to go game by game in this league and not get carried away with anything. So now really looking forward to being back on Friday.
Great, Joe. Well, thanks for chatting. Lovely to have you sitting down again talking about football, and we'll see you hopefully in action on Friday.
Cheers, Jay.